What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I am sick talking about how crooked, I wouldn't say evil, but, Sony is a corporation trying to make money. They are less concerned about the consumers than other corporations trying to make money. And that's the main thing as to why I criticize Sony much more than other corporations. I mean, there are other corporations that are worse than Sony, but they're not in video games. They're in other stuff. Point is, Neil Druckman had an internal interview with Sony, whatever. They do these things for just promotional purposes. Like, oh yeah, let's promote Neil Druckman and let's promote whatever projects he's having coming up. Let's promote The Last of Us and we'll mention all these things that we make. And yay, it's a big circle jerk, basically. And so he had this interview. And Sony posted it. I forgot where they posted it probably on their blog or something. Who knows? And Neil Druckman came back and said, yeah, that's not... I didn't actually say that. I said so. You know what? Let me just put up exactly what I said verbatim. And he put the thing up, and it was totally different context. Whoever edited it took it completely out of context to make Sony seem like, oh, what they're doing is way better. And it was the stupidest thing. I think it was I think it was Peter Molyneux. He snuck in. He put on a mustache and a wig, and changed his name to Paul Meckenheim. And and he put on a country. Hey, I'm Paul, and I'm gonna write this for y'all. Secretly, I'm really Peter, and I'm going to make this the most fabulous interview ever. You know how Pete did back in the day. Anyway. So Neil put it up like, yeah, I said, actually, this what I said, not what they had said, because that's not what I said. Sony comes back and puts up an apology, and they deleted the actual interview. And I'm like, look, I know a lot of people, especially the media, especially Ryan McCaffrey, likes to say, oh, Xbox is stepping on rakes. What is this? What is this? What is this? I want to know what this is. Sony literally trying to, PR some magical narrative of magic game making, and then one of their top dogs who got enough clout to slap back and said, no. You know why? Because he got that Hollywood taste. He got that HBO taste. Like, I kind of like this. I like the AC up in here. This is nice over here. I like the catering over here better than Sony. I'm just saying. I don't think Neil's gonna be there for. He's co-captain of the Naughty Dog ship, but still. Man, somebody give him enough money to make some movies or something, he's gone. He's like, should I make video games? Or, because he could do 2 movies a year if he wanted to work, bust his ass. But he could just chill and do 1 movie a year instead of doing, 1 game every 7 years. And just like, racking your brains and going through all the bureaucracies and stuff. Look, I don't really like Neil Druckman per se, but he got like half a merit on this one for slapping Sony back. But still, just far as like a creative and artist, and it's like the reason why I don't like him is not so much like his personality or anything, because I don't actually know him. I don't know the man, but what he creates. If I don't like what you make, I'm like, so it's not so necessarily I don't like him as a person. I just don't like the stuff that he makes. The stuff. It's like Uncharted 4, it was alright. That's probably his best. The thing that I like the most of him. But everything else is so dark, and he's catering to a certain audience. He's trying to be super neo woke and all this stuff. And I'm like, there's a balance in all things. And when you go too hard on the neo-woke stuff, then you're going to have issues, you know. And I know people say, oh, you can't please everyone. But you can make a good product that serves most. That's what I would say. And so he went a little too far. You know, Ellie's a lesbian. Fine. No problem with that, right? I mean, she's not a good character. Her character sucks, right? And like, well, it's the circumstances. I don't want to hear that. You got to make characters. If she's not the villain, she's supposed to be the protagonist. You got to make them likable. Or somebody has to be likable. Abby wasn't likable because, I don't know, some people think she's too masculine or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I don't care if she had big muscles and stuff, but my thing is like, this is post-apocalyptic. Where is she getting the supplements to make her muscles all big? Anyway, this is we went through this years ago. The point is, Sony lied. Deceit. When I say Sony be lying, Sony deceit, y'all think I'm lying, you think I'm playing, you think I'm just hyperbolizing. No, they literally did it. They literally redacted the whole interview so we couldn't double check and see and break it down even further, right? I mean, it has to be out there somewhere. And then, you know, Neil said bap, and then they set up they put an apology. How you gonna put up? That's the dumbest thing. You mess up so bad, you have to put an apology so you don't anger, I guess, one of your star players, your star quarterback, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's stepping on all the rakes in Lowe's and Home Depot. Lowe's and Home Depot had a rake sale. They put them out, you know how they have in the parking lot with Christmas tree? They had a rake sale. And somebody said, oops, and spilled all the rakes all over the parking lot. And so anyway, I'm going to go from here, my vehicle, to the door of Lowe's, but I have to go through this minefield of rakes. And they went through the minefield of rakes, and they hit every rake with just this little thing. They said, bing, with the blang, the boots, the black. That's what happened. But nobody's saying nothing. Tim Pony, why don't you say something about how Sony just be lying to your face and trying to make stuff up and stuff? Why don't you say something about that? Oh, yes, right. You're too busy crying about Xbox. Yo, Gaz is hilarious. Gaz put something up on I think it was on Twitter. He was like, Tim Dog is reportedly missing after the events of, I'm paraphrasing, but messy divorce and something. It was. I was like, okay, you know what? That's why Gas is near the top, because he got jokes. He's got a very, very clever mind. That dude, I like him a lot. I like his energy. He's just got that energy, yo. And we need people like that. We need people who are positive yet critical. You know, some people call him a pony bot. You know, he used to be a pony or whatever when he was starting. They had the old clip of him when he had no facial hair and stuff, and that's funny. But you know, he's a gamer. You know, what are you gonna do? You know, he's not. Maybe he's a pony bot. Who cares? I mean, I don't really care. But when you're like somebody like Tim Dog who's just crying, I think he cries so he can hear himself cry. You know, some people talk to hear themselves talking, oh man, blah blah, whatever. I'm like, okay, sure. I think he's crying just to hear the tears fall on the floor. Like he'd be like, oh, there's a wood floor here. Let me start crying here so I can hear the difference between wood and marble. So he cries on different materials. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. There's a lot of materials like today. Hot asphalt. Let's see does it sizzle when the pony tear? Tim Pony has them new fresh pony tear. They're virgin pony tears. He hasn't been violated by Sony yet. He will be eventually because everybody does. Now, whether or not he's going to fall into the Stockholm syndrome, whatever. I mean, I think he will. I think he's already kind of Stockholm syndrome himself, in a way. Or the opposite of the Stockholm syndrome? Yeah, I think he's doing the opposite of that, which I don't know what that is. I'd have to look that up. There has to be an opposite, right? What would that be? Just crying. Anyway. Yes, Sony is ridiculous. Okay, switch a little topic here. We'll do a 2-for-1 today. So the two heads of former Rocksteady, formed a new studio called 100 Star, which is a cool name, I think. And Microsoft, Xbox, signed a deal with them to fund their next AAA single-player game. Now, is it going to be multi-plat? Some people say, yeah, it's going to be multi-plat. It's going to be everything. Some people say it's going to be Xbox, console exclusive, and then PC, of course, because that's what Xbox does. They don't ever do just console exclusives, especially when it's third party. They won't do that because it doesn't make any sense. Look, it doesn't make any sense. I know you ponies and donkey unicorns don't understand the concept of making money, but you'll learn. Don't worry about it. I mean, Sony's learning right now, but it'll take them a couple of years to catch up. But you just Final Fantasy, Square Enix, let's go. I mean, we got plenty of examples of Sony messing up. And, I say this a lot. I say, Sony kind of messed up the industry in a way. And people are like, how is that? They're the console leader. They're the market leader. And I'm like, that's an old and tired narrative that you need to stop, because if you're the market leader, you should be having the most money in that market, right? That's what market leading means. You are worth the most in that market. I mean, they're not now because Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard King. Microsoft, Xbox, they're doing things. And also, you can't just say Xbox, because Xbox is not the whole of Microsoft Gaming. So it is Microsoft Gaming. If you want to include everything, if you want to include ABK, Bethesda, all that stuff, that's Microsoft Gaming. So maybe they should alter that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, actually, they can't, unless they create another sub or reorganize. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that Microsoft is investing in third-party studios to make content for Xbox. And I heard people say, oh, well, they're putting money into these studios, but why did they have to close their studios, blah, blah, blah. And I swear I want to jump through the internet and smack people in the face, because Jeff Grubb and Lucy James said this. But everyone is not mentioning the possibility that these studios were not the studios that made Hi-Fi Rush. Most of the team might have been gone. Why would you say, okay, the 12 people left, the janitor, the other guy, the mechanic, and everybody else, why don't y'all make a game? It's like, but I don't draw. And then the mechanic's like, I don't know how to code. Yeah, Microsoft just give them money to make another game. Doesn't make any sense, right? Why would Microsoft do that? Right? I mean that's my take. Maybe the cost that it took to make Hi-Fi Rush, I believe it took them 4 years, I think, to make that game. So it wasn't like a small indie game, even though it looks like a small indie game. There was a lot of work put into that game, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money. It didn't get the return. It probably didn't make any money back. So maybe they just did it holistically. Said, "Yo, you didn't make the money back. You out. Sorry." But whatever the case is, people don't mention the fact that, well, maybe there's some other extenuating circumstances behind the decision to close Tango Gameworks. But nobody's saying nothing. They're just saying, why are they giving money to... Well, why would you give money to a studio that knows how to make games, right? And you're looking at them like, here's the boss, this is what they got, and you say, okay, I'll give you some money. And then you look at what you got in the backyard, and it's like, where the wheels on this thing? What happened? How much is it going to cost to make this work? Really? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. If Tango Gameworks was primed up, ready to go, the top had everything going for it, Microsoft would have said, all right, make the next game. Let's go. Let's keep this going. But something was going on, but nobody's saying anything, because it's not, I don't think it's Microsoft's place to kind of air out the dirty laundry. And also, game journalists are just like, whatever. It doesn't, blah. They're just talking, and they're not giving us these possibilities. And they understand, they know, they're not idiots. They just don't want to say these things, because whether or not, I don't know, they don't like Xbox, which is a normal thing. Most people don't like Xbox, especially the media. Now that IGN owns everything, it's going to be more so that more media is going to be anti-Xbox unless the Call of Duty move shifts the popularity. If Xbox becomes more popular than PlayStation, if Xbox becomes the casual console of choice, Game Pass and all that, then you're going to see a shift in the media and how they talk about Xbox and how they do these things. You know, and it's going to be forced and it's going to be hard because, oh, I like PlayStation so much, I got to talk about Xbox, because they're paying you, because that's where the money is. And so, you know, as much as we rag on these media outlets, we have to realize that they're doing it to keep that money coming in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fault them for that, but there's a way to do it and not be disingenuous, which is basically what they've been doing for years. And it's annoying, but you know, it's annoying, but the feeble attempts of these people who have some influence on kind of the narrative and how things go, but don't have all the influence. Call of Duty has the influence. Look, regardless of what IGN or any of these affiliate websites say, people will go to Call of Duty. And some people, the normies usually, will go and say, Game Pass, I can get $200 for a console? Let's do that. If they got an Xbox already, forget about it. It's a no. If they have Xbox and Game Pass, forget. They're not gonna buy it on PlayStation. Why would you buy it on PlayStation? Why? You wouldn't. You're not gonna. All your friends, yo, just get Game Pass, $17 a month. And you can play all these games. And you can play Hellblade. And you can play Forza Horizon. And you can play Forza Regular. And you can play all these games. And guess what? Indiana Jones is coming too, son. Let's play that later, son. Boosh. So many games coming. Yeah, Jim Ryan was right. The PlayStation business cannot recover. It can't compete. It can't compete with Game Pass with Call of Duty. It can't. And people, oh, the consoles, they're still on console sales. Oh, the console's going down, console revenue. And now, what are people reporting? Oh, the console revenue is down across the board. Everybody's losing, everybody, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, well, yeah. Oh, you reported before, you said, oh, it's just Xbox, right? Oh, it's just Xbox that's losing money, right? Xbox is down 31%. Then Sony comes out like a week later. Oh, Sony console sales 29%. Oops. The whole industry is down. Nintendo was down like 69%. You know what I'm saying? And you see how the Xbox news came out first. So, they're the first. So it's negative. But you ain't see nothing about, But when they say the 29% about Sony, PlayStation, what's that? That's pretty. Oh, Hellblade. Hellblade. What's the Stellar Blade? Stellar Blade is most selling this game. Yay. They masters of distraction. You know, and the main thing is like they want to be part of a winning team. You know, it's that mentality. And it's a bunch of sheeple, really, just trying to be on the winning team, be on the winning side of history, I guess, instead of looking at the industry as a whole. And I still don't understand the mentality that, Microsoft is evil, Game Pass is bad, this and that. I'm like, no, it's not. It's about competition. It's about having different options in the industry. If it's bad, right, then the market will self-correct itself. If it's bad, nobody wants it, blah, 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 guess what? It's not going to work and it's going to fail. That's what's going to happen. But it's been around for, 2017 when it came out? Right? So 7 years so far. Wait, it was before that, right? Was it 2017? I can't remember. I got to look that up. But, it'll be 10 years before we know it. 10 years of Game Pass, right? And I've signed up. I forgot when I signed up, but it's been years and years and years. And I don't mind. They can take that $17 a month. I'm like, I'm good, yo. I mean, I'm not hurting for cash. You can take my little $17 and I can enjoy all the games that y'all put out. And that's mainly why I still sub to it, is because of their first party day and date. And the whole thing, one last thing. Whole thing about Sony, Herman Holtz, he came out and he said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have the not the free to play, but the games of service games, the multiplayer games. Those are gonna be day and date PC and PlayStation." I'm like, "Oh, there you go, day and date, baby." But the single player, we're gonna be more judicious and we're gonna blah 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 blah, right? So I'm like, okay. They're still that they don't get it. They don't get it. And their reasoning is, oh yeah, so they'll play the old one, the first game, and be excited to want to play the sequel and go buy a PlayStation. I'm like, no. Okay, PC gamers don't play on console for a reason. Do you understand? I mean, look, I'm barely a PC. I played a couple of games on PC. I'm not really a PC player, but the allure of just the endless possibilities of mods in PC is just enough to be like, you know what? One day I'm gonna get me a PC. I'm gonna get Henry Cavill. I'm like, yo, Hank, hook me up. He's gonna build my PC. I'm gonna stream it. Like he's gonna be like, might, right? Because he got big muscles. I'm like, yo, Henry, hook it up. And you know what? I will play Warhammer with you, even though I don't know how to play. I will build some models because you the man. And I ain't gonna lie, Man of Steel was dope. But still, look, let's go. I like you. The Witcher, yes. So Henry's gonna build me a PC. Henry Cavill is gonna build me. Henry Cavill is gonna build me a PC. And I'm going to be PC master locksmith. I'm not going to be a PCMR. But I'm going to have my toes in there. You know what I'm saying? And also, I do need a PC for CG rendering music purposes. I have a laptop. And that's just for mobile purposes. Like when I want to do music anywhere, I can just boop, boop. And I'm good to go. So that's more practical. But having a PC for like rendering CG and stuff like that, especially in cycles, yes, you can't bring down on a laptop. That don't work. So, eventually I will probably build, but my first one, I'll probably just buy a pretty beefy PC, and maybe I'll upgrade a couple other parts or something like that. But I'm not worried about it right now. But anyway, tangents. But like I was saying, PC players don't want to buy consoles, don't want to play. Now, if you're a PC player and a console gamer, that's fine. But if the game is on both places, they will play it on PC first, period. And if it's not on PC, either they will wait, or you might get a few percentage of people going to console, whatever. But no, that's not how it works. That's why when they try to do that, oh, you got to sign in for a PSN account to play Helldivers 2 past this day. Everybody's like, yeah, right. They said psych, and then they review bombed it on Steam and all this stuff. It's like, yo, you don't look for. I said this before, but for a company that's been doing video games for so long, for as long as they have been doing video games, Sony should know how PC gamers work. Don't they have a PC division in there, like psychologists? Like, how do PC gamers work? No, they don't, obviously, because they figure. I guess it's the hubris that's coming back for Sony, because they're like, yo, man, we outselling Xbox, and we ain't worried about them. Let's get these PC fools. Let's make them sign up. It's like, all right. And guess what? They're not having it. And they had to go back on it. And now they're trying to figure out, well, how are we going to do it? And what I've been hearing the journalists say, oh, they're going to make it available in all these countries that it's not available. I'm like, well, first of all, don't you think it would have been available in those countries if they want to sell games? They want to sell PSN subscriptions? Why wouldn't it be there? So there has to be a reason why it's not there. Anyway, ramble. I done. Sorry, it's a little bit long. But yeah, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Neil Druckman interview debacle, the lying Sony. I thought it was just Jim Ryan that was lying. Nope, it's the whole corporation. Lie. And what you think about what else I talking about? The other stuff too. That too, yeah. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Till we talk.